This week, a piece of news occurred that I am sure has gone unnoticed by the vast majority, but which I believe has its importance. To understand it, you have to tell the story. A few months ago, if I remember correctly, in August, Cardinal Ouellet, who is still the prefect, the president of the dicastery for bishops, one of the most important of the Vatican Curia, was anonymously accused that 30 years ago he had put his hand on the lower back and hugged a woman in a public act. An accusation that was made as part of a series of accusations against the Diocese of Quebec, of which Ouellet was then Archbishop. An accusation that had no more foundation than a rumor, because 30 years had passed. The accuser did not know who she was. At least those who filed the complaint did not say who she was. She had been a pastoral collaborator in the diocese in the past, and according to her, in one or in some public acts, the former archbishop was kind to her, and that, she says, made her feel upset. Nor does the accusation say how intense the hugs were, or up to what lumbar vertebrate the archbishop's hand reached. Simply, a lady says that 30 years ago in a public act, nothing private, nothing in a room, nothing in a sacristy, in a public act in front of everybody, the archbishop was affectionate with her. He gave her a hug. I imagine that as so many hugs are given in so many places, and that made her feel annoyed. It bothered her, and 30 years later, within a package of accusations against different priests whose crimes, the vast majority, occurred 60 years ago, 30 years later, it is said that Cardinal disturbed a lady in this way. Well, at the crime, Cardinal Ouellet denied, of course, that this had happened, and he also said that he was prepared to defend himself if the accusation came to court, which it has not yet since happened. It was enough. It was enough for Cardinal Ouellet to have a shadow over his past from that moment on. The importance of this is understood to the extent that one understands who Cardinal Ouellet is. Not only is he the prefect of the dicastery for bishops, but in the last two conclaves, Ouellet was the third man, and this is very important. In the conclave in which Benedict was elected, the second man was the then Cardinal Bergoglio, today Pope Francis. In the conclave in which Pope Francis was elected, the second man was Cardinal Scola, now retired and in delicate health conditions. In both conclaves, the third man was precisely Ouellet. Ouellet is a person with a reputation of being a moderate conservative. He has worked in Colombia as a priest, has therefore very good relations with Latin America, speaks Spanish perfectly, is appreciated in many African countries. His work in front of bishops has put him in contact with all the bishops of the world, and of course, he has many supporters in the United States and in his country, Canada. Ouellet was, unto this, I dare to say, ridiculous denunciation, on the runway for the next conclave. I do not mean at all, and I insist that I think it is important to clarify this, that this next conclave will be held immediately, in no way whatsoever. Pope Francis, who will be 86 years old on Saturday, is in pretty good health for his age. In pretty good health, even his knee problems seem to be subsiding, and in fact, a trip has been announced for January to places as complicated as the Congo or South Sudan. But I have no doubt, I am sure that some of the heirs of the St. Gallen Mafia are already moving. They are already preparing everything. The hand that rocks the cradle of the next pope is already at work. Was this ridiculous accusation part of a plan to eliminate Ouellet from the race for the papacy? Well, I do not know, but he was certainly out immediately. Who could vote for a man who was rumored to have molested a lady with an effusive embrace, even if it had happened in public and 30 years ago? He was immediately out of the running. Well, this week's news, because those were the old news, this week's news is that Ouellet has stepped forward and decided to denounce those who denounced him. The institution that spread the rumor that someone was upset with him. For the record, in August, when the news came out, I told some influential friends, I told them Ouellet is making a mistake. It is not enough to say I am innocent, and if they denounce me, I will defend myself. It is not enough because they do not seek to put him in jail as they did with Cardinal Pell. These are completely different cases. They simply seek to spread a rumor and separate him, remove him from the list of popes, as in fact had happened. Instead, now with his decision to go on the attack, to say I want to defend my honor and I denounce the one who denounced me, I will file a lawsuit. I demand compensation to wash my honor. He has asked for 100,000 Canadian dollars and has said that if he wins the trial, he will donate it to this commission that has been created in favor of the indigenous people of Canada. I do not know if there will be a trial or not. First, we do not know if there will be a trial against him. Second, we do not know if there will be a trial against those who defamed him. According to the cardinal, those who slandered him and harmed him and damaged his honor. We do not know what is going to happen, but it seems to me at least that at this moment, Ouellet has done what he should have done, and he is back in the race with his gesture he has made. He is back in the race even if this is not the objective. I am convinced that it is not the objective for which he has filed this complaint against those who denounced him. His honor is restored simply by this fact. This man is innocent. He is willing to prove it. He is willing to prove it by denouncing, going against those who have defamed him. Moreover, not only I believe that he is back on the starting track and very well placed, but it is better than before because now he can present himself as what he is, a victim of the terrible campaign of defamation that the Catholic Church is suffering, where things are used that unfortunately have happened, and there have been many, even a lot, even if the percentage has been small with respect to the number of priests, but where there are also many innocent people who are being accused, and perhaps the accusations are being manipulated, as in this case, to remove a person from that possible list of candidates to succeed Pope Francis when the time comes, which may still be quite some time from now. Has something similar happened with Cardinal Tangley? What has happened in Caritas International has not been. Cardinal Tangley has insisted several times it has not been a purification of the management team due to sexual abuse. Not even due to economic mismanagement. It is due to a generic mismanagement. But really someone is going to vote for Tangley, who was a strong candidate to be Pope. Someone is going to vote for Tangley when there is an accusation of mismanagement, even if it has been for sexual issues. Not even money. A generic thing of mismanagement against him in something as important as Caritas International. Is this one more move of those successors of St. Gallen who are preparing the way so that at the right time, with rumors like Ouellet's or with facts like Tangley's, those who could be candidates are disqualified and only one or two appear as possible persons. Cardinals who can be elected Pope? Well, I do not know, but certainly what has happened has seemed significant to me, and I congratulate Cardinal Ouellet for the step he has taken. We must defend ourselves. It is not enough to say I am innocent, and if they accuse me, I will defend myself. No, you have to take the step and say I have been accused and I am innocent. I will defend myself before those who have accused me, and I will become the accuser of those who have accused me. This is an anecdote of what has happened this week that seems relevant to me. But really the most important thing is that we are already close to Christmas. We are only a few days away, and this has to help us to remember that Jesus Christ is the Lord of history. These manipulations of men, including those of the church, not only those of politicians, these maneuvers of men are in the end only mere diversions, because the Lord is a specialist in writing straight with crooked lines. Christ, who was born in the cave of Bethlehem, is the Lord of history. He is the master of our life. Divine providence exists, not because we understand its plans, but because we are sure that it exists, and because certainly many times we have seen how this writing straight with crooked lines take place. Christ is the Lord of history, and in him is our hope. Until next week, God willing.